Previously, I talked about a brand new concept, the Mimic Demon, and how it would be able to turn into almost anything in the game, from demons to makers and even you, the Slayer. So I wanted to explore that concept more in a sort of follow-up video, just so that the main video wasn't bogged down with extras and got straight to the point. The name is FooSarr, and today we're going to be taking a deeper look into the Mimic Slayer and how it would work in the arena. Always remember that FooCept is a series where I create an original idea from either limited material or none at all. If you wish to expand or edit on what I create in these videos, that's alright, so long as there is clear credit given to myself and any other contributing creators. With that being said, all you need to know about the Mimic is that it can transform into anything aside from bosses itself and spirits, and it deals 50% less damage compared to the original demon, and it can be killed with one ballista shot and a shotgun blast, having the health set between an imp and a cacodemon. If the Mimic decides to disguise as the Slayer, it won't change its disguise for that entire arena. When before, it could disguise as a Mancubus and then turn into a Tyrant and then a Screecher in the same life, if it picks the Slayer, it will realize that it's the most powerful it will ever be and doesn't change, so in some sense, you now have to fight yourself. The Mimic's appearance would be almost identical to yours, but it would use one of the cosmetic skins that you have unlocked but aren't currently using, so that it's not like looking in a mirror, and keeps in theme with the other transformations with something looking slightly different. Now, because in Doom Eternal, the Slayer's visor is slightly see-through, if you happen to get close enough and look past the visor, the face will be a hellish version of the Slayer's. Appearances are one thing, but it's what's within that makes you special. So the Mimic Slayer's moveset will be the same as yours. It can parkour like you can, it can dash like you can, and it can even climb walls like you can. Anything that you can do, the Mimic Slayer can too. This extends to weapons as well, because it will mimic that too. The Mimic Slayer will also be able to use every single one of your weapons aside from the BFG, Sentinel Hammer, and Crucible. This means that yes, it can use the Unmaker, but it would be a very rare attack and used in short quantities. And remember, always remember, the Mimic deals 50% less damage than the original, meaning a normal shot from your heavy cannon from the Mimic would probably only take 1 HP away. The Mimic Slayer would also be able to weapon quick switch. The higher the difficulty level that you are on, the more extreme the weapon quick switching will be. Meaning if you're on I'm Too Young to Die, then it might not change at all. But if you're on Ultra Nightmare, it will be a little devil comboing machine taking you straight to the game over screen in seconds. The Mimic Slayer would not be able to blood punch, however, if you are in melee range, the Mimic Slayer will beat you with its fists and even bring out its own copy of the Doom Blade to slice you too. A unique attack that you can't do, but it can, is a Doom Blade charge, where it will have the Doom Blade extended and dash towards you, dealing knockback and high damage. Now always remember that Mimic Demons will have their health set between that of a Cacodemon and an Imp, no matter what form that they are in, and they will deal 50% less damage compared to the original. But this can be worked around using buff totems, especially overcharge buff totems using my FooCept, Demonic Engineers, and Demonic Energy in the arena with one of these Mimics. I think that would lead to a very interesting fight. Modders, if you're watching, or even id Software, make it happen. So now it's down to you, the viewer, who watched to the end of the video like a Chad. Share the video around and maybe one day it will reach the eyes and ears of a talented modder or even id Software themselves. Better still, let me know in the comments what you think about the Mimic Slayer. The name is FooSarr, as it will always remain to be, and always remember to stay creative. Thanks for watching.